The 6th episode of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest's anime is out, and man, this was not only the best episode of 100 Years Quest, but also the best episode of Fairy Tail, period. Not just with the animation, but with the directing, the sound direction, and the music, the voice acting, everything felt perfect. We got the conclusion to the Mercphobia fight, Ignia showed up, so much happened in this episode that I was just so happy with. Before I jump into things, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. I've been very happy with the 100 Years Quest anime so far, and this episode only proves that this is going to be a very well done adaptation, and I can only get more excited for the rest of the season, because we still got 19 episodes to go. With that out of the way, let's jump right into things. So, 100 Years Quest's episode 6 actually covers the very conclusion to the Mercphobia fight, and the introduction of Ignia. Now, this episode was relatively standard. We got the continuation of how the fight was with episode 5, showcasing Mercphobia's berserker state, and just tearing up Ermina, and causing a lot of chaos, literally bringing the ocean into the air to destroy things, overpowering Team NATSU, and even throwing NATSU up into the ocean in the sky that he created, until Ignia manages to show up. And Ignia had a really cool entrance, and after him coming out of the sky, we ended up getting a really cool contrast when he just ignites the town on fire, and Mercphobia puts out the fire in his general direction. A really nice contrast between fire and water, and just the blues and the reds contrasting in such a really viscerally and enjoyable way. Also, the scene where Natsu actually compares Ignia to Igniol, as they're sensorially similar, I like the detail on primarily Igniol's design in that one scene when Natsu is reminded of Igniol through Ignia. It just looks really cool and even a bit more detailed than the manga, which is something that I really do enjoy, considering the fact that the 100 Years Quest anime is actually a bit more simpler in its character designs in order to add more for fluidity and easier to animate for the animators to do, which it gets shown in this episode. Ignia tells Natsu who he is, that he's Igniol's son, about the whole thing where dragons, when they have children, the mother raises them and the fathers don't ever really see them again and all that, and how Ignia is interested in Natsu because he defeated Acnologia, but he more so wants Natsu to get stronger on his own because he doesn't want Natsu to rely on other people's power, so the two of them can have a very heated battle to the point where one of them gets turned to charcoal. And I love it. Igniol, his voice has just been something that fans have been speculating about since the anime came out. And he is actually, I found out he was voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto. And this guy has voiced so many awesome characters. He's voiced Rin from Blue Exorcist, Himmel from Frieren, Top from Undead Unluck, Adachi from Dangers in My Heart, Bakugo from My Hero Academia, Nishinoya from Haikyuu, Karma from Assassination Classroom, Genya from Demon Slayer, Accelerator from a certain magical index. So many really cool and goated characters, and his voice fits so goddamn perfectly with just the tone and the way he carries himself. Also, something I want to mention for anime onlys. When Ignia was first introduced in the 100 Years Quest manga, his design was actually relatively different for his dragon design and his baseline human design. The anime is using the updated designs for Ignia's dragon and human forms, which I find very cool and will actually add a really nice piece of consistency for future seasons and appearances for Ignia in the 100 Years Quest anime. So that's something I really do appreciate. But in this whole scene where he's talking to Natsu, every image of Ignia, with the shading and how the lighting is, how things are directed, it just really keeps you invested in this whole conversation and keeps you glued to Ignia and what he's saying. It's very engaging and really keeps you attached to what's going on screen. Once Ignia leaves and tells Natsu to eat his flames to get the power needed to take out this weakened Mercphobia, as it's revealed that Mercphobia is not even at half his strength at this point, which obviously is terrifying because with the level of strength that Mercphobia is at right now is enough for all of Team Natsu, with Wendy even in Dragon Force not being able to do anything. It is a big thing to really reveal at the start of 100 Years Quest. But after some deliberation with the group, Natsu just bites down and just eats all the flames of Ignia. And honestly, this one sequence where Natsu is just eating all the flames and running around. Very fun, very comedic in this tense situation. But at the very end, when he eats all the flames, really cool piece of animation, as he goes into Dragon Force and gets powered up. This looks sick. And then we jump into the actual fight with Mercphobia. And my goodness, the animators cooked on this action sequences. Now, 100's Quest animation was good. It was fluid. A lot of the sequences with Erza and some with Natsu were all relatively well done, but nothing too balls to the wall crazy. But the sequences used in this fight with Mercphobia, with Natsu and his new Dragon Force, was amazing. The way the flames were drawn, the way Natsu was moving around the screen utilizing his flames, the moment where he jumps up to try and punch Mercphobia, when he uses the Fire Dragon King Brilliant Flame, when he finished things off with one last Demolition Fist. It all was so fluid. It went together like you couldn't believe. The animators definitely put a lot into this moment and in this fight, to the point where I could not even look away. I was so invested, I was engrossed in this action sequence, and if anyone questions Fairy Tail's quality, at least for 100's Quest, I'm going to show them this fight, because it shows that they put their effort into this one giantly amazing and important fight. And it keeps me having faith that the rest of the season is going to have this level of quality at the bare minimum for the big fights and moments. And it keeps me more excited to watch this anime every single week. Now, also, when Natsu goes into Dragon Force and the new updated remixed version of the Dragon Force OST comes into play, oh man, I felt so much hype in that one singular moment. I just could not help but get pumped up. I couldn't help but be fired up for this whole damn fight, this whole damn amazing action sequence. It was that good. A lot of you are probably wondering why I'm making a video on the anime now after not covering it for 3 weeks. That's mainly because I've had a lot going on and I haven't been able to record and make videos for this series, and I've had other stuff to fill in the gaps in my schedule, so I wasn't able to make videos on 100 Years Quest, unfortunately. But my schedule cleared up for this week with when the video's coming out, so I just wanted to make a video on this episode. I'm not guaranteeing anything about following the anime at all, but I'll probably make videos on like the big or really cool moments that end up coming out, so that I could gush about it with you guys. I'll probably try and do some more shorts for 100's Quest as things progress, so look forward to those as well. But for now, in terms of the anime, I'll only discuss moments that are very well adapted, brought to life, and just really great moments that get me hyped up for the anime that I can actually make an excuse for myself to make a video on. Especially considering that my schedule has been very weird with my videos lately. Though I will say this one last thing for the final scene of the episode, where Natsu's basically losing himself to the flames and Lucy grabbing onto him to calm him down. I think that moment was done very well. There was a bit of detail from the flames that could have still been there, but all in all, perfect. I loved it all. Lucy's voice acting was amazing. How she even stated that she was afraid of Natsu's flames for the very first time showcases the uneasiness and the unsettlingness of this power-up from Natsu. Also, I made a full video like almost a year ago of how Natsu and D can come out, and I used this scene as an example that the flames and imagery of Natsu in this instance is very reminiscent of his END transformation. So yeah, very spoilery filled video for the future of 100's Quest if you want to go check that out, but I talk about this moment very big, and I kind of think that this is teasing that maybe END is still within Natsu, and we might see it at some point in the future. Also a pretty bold choice for the anime to open up with like a image from like, I believe it was a very short mini chapter or mini novelization of Fairy Tail with Lucy struggling to meet a deadline for her next novel. I just found that funny and enjoyable. I love seeing Natsu, Lucy, and Happy just goof around and just do random shit as Lucy's trying to do something serious. Those moments of Fairy Tail I absolutely love. But yeah, animation was great, directing was great, coloring and shading was honestly very well done, and the voice acting was top tier. But those are my thoughts on the recent episode of 100 Years Quest. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and what you're looking forward to in the future getting animated at the bare minimum at this level for the 100 Years Quest anime when we get to the next couple of fights and moments that will be adapted this season. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. I am so hyped for the future of 100 Years Quest, you cannot believe how hyped up I am for the anime now. I was at a 9, now I'm at an 11 at this point. This was just crazy.